yo. This is What's up, T-Payne?
I'm back today, man. Hey, we live in the Ohio Valley, so sickness is real sometimes, but I'm here with y'all today. Some people gonna say, the haters are gonna say he skipped because UK lost. That ain't the case, man. I'm gonna take my luck like a real one, but I was really sick. But we can talk about that today too. What up with
Yeah,
you?
man. Oh, man. Yeah, I really was curious about your sickness the same time UK
Come on, man.
got upset. I was wondering.
I ain't
It looked
afraid
like
of
you.
no smoke.
It looked like you was ducking and dodging, man. Well, I'm glad to see that you back up. You might be playing with Michael Jordan's Game 6 flu right now. But hey, we're glad to have you back. We had a good show yesterday. We're gonna have a good show today. Man, let's talk about it. I want to start off by saying, we give these takes. We give our everything we say is kind of like our personal opinion, and we don't necessarily have like insider information or intel why things happen. So when something you say and when something you say doesn't translate in real life, it throws you completely off. And I think everybody had that same feeling yesterday, hearing that Deshaun Watson is going to the Browns.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you why we're wrong. Them Browns came in at the final hour. The difference was
I need you to give me what would be the perfect metaphor the way the Browns came in. Tell me a perfect metaphor.
Man, the Browns came through like the juggernaut. Y'all know y'all done seen the X-Men, but the Browns came through, they busted the wall open. They said, hey, before you decide, and that's all guaranteed. Not a partial, not 60, not a hundo, 230 mil, all guaranteed. My God, I will go to Alaska, Antarctica. You can take me wherever you need me for 5 years for 230, guaranteed, bro.
One thing that I loved about that was, and I say love because when that happened, I was like, my mind completely blown when I seen it. And then I was like, right. But why? Why?
That's the why. Look, that's the why.
Because we are conditioned. We are conditioned in our heads to have a certain image about the Browns. We know the Browns. And in any case, we know that there's going to be a flop. So it's just like, we're like, what? You could potentially ruin your career, like going there just because of the name of the Browns, not even what they have, because we all know that they have a team. Like, that was never really the case. It was just the makeup and the organization of the Browns. That's how we always were with it. But, minutes, not even minutes, it was like seconds. After it dropped, they're talking about, the Browns is about to sign for 5 years, $230 million. Fully guaranteed. I said, my goodness, young man, get paid, please. Take, what I'm saying? Like, more praise. Like, it instantly turned into, oh my God, why? To my brother. You did it. You on your way up to the upper room. It's like you getting that palace in the sky. Like, oh man, and that is why, like, now I'm like, that's what I wanted to see in the NFL was a fully guaranteed contract.
Bro, whenever I hear the Browns, you know what song pops up in my head? All I hear is Doo-Doo Brown, bro. Like, we love this song, but all I can hear in my head is Uncle Luke, Doo-Doo Brown, bro. Like, I don't look at the Browns with respect because this just not been a franchise that's very respectful. And I'm a Cowboys fan, and that's a rough one because, we might put on a facade, but we not like that. we ain't been like that since I've been a tot, man. So I can't really talk too crazy. But the Browns, though, I mean, we've just seen them ruin careers. They tried to ruin Odell's career, and Odell got him through and salvaged his career. He's good, man. He's Gucci. Nobody can say nothing to him now. So,
But
Doodoo Brown. But
like,
I give them all respect. This move right here, that's ballsy. Look, we all in. We all in.
But
let's
talk about controlling the narrative though. We keep saying the Browns ruined Odell Beckham's career. We'll probably
They tried
to, you know, but controlling this narrative right now, we probably expect Deshaun Watson, if he gets suspended 6 games.
Yeah, he's getting suspended.
Maybe even try to make him an example.
I hope he doesn't, but he's going to get suspended.
Just because of the 22 civil lawsuits.
It's too much noise, bro. Like the NFL is known for, you know, when we were growing up, you could beat the hell out of a woman and they wouldn't say nothing. And we're not saying that's right. Hell, as kids, we were looking at them like, hey, Buddy's wild. Like he ain't even serve a day. My dude went back to practice like it was nothing. So they let some BS go for so long. Now, like if you breathe on a woman wrong, you're gonna probably get some time. So you just have to carry yourself, you know, like a gentleman, like most of us is raised, and just try your best to keep yourself out of this situation. We don't know the full extent to what Deshaun was in. So we can't really speak on that. But regardless if he was into some shenanigans or not, you know.
Oh, he was into some weird shit.
I ain't gonna speak on it because I don't know. I'll let you speak on it.
This is a sports outlet, and I agree. We are definitely gonna keep with the sports. We're gonna keep with the sports outlet. I don't
know. I can't speak on that, man.
But it was some weird shit, and you can say it's okay to say it's some weird shit.
I mean, the situation was definitely weird, but I don't want to say yay or nay. All I know is, you know, in a court, he was found not guilty. So, you know, congratulations, Deshaun.
Because you're not guilty. Nobody's guilty for some weird stuff unless it's like completely illegal. And it's not illegal to be weird.
I just know the NFL is probably coming with that punishment. So be prepared.
Coming with it. And
expect the worst, hope for the best. That's all we can say. But look, hey, my guy, when you got that, you can smile a little bit more.
He put a clause in there for the Browns, and his agent and him, I guess they kind of structured it to where if he gets suspended, the first year he's there is like barely any money at all. He has it in his contract of that 230 mil. So it affects nothing. It don't affect the Browns. It don't affect him. And that's like, because he what'd he do? He stole 10 million from the Texans last year, right?
I don't know what he got.
Just for not playing. Just for not playing.
But see, I wouldn't even say he stole because they chose not to play him too.
No.
So
he said he was not playing.
Yes. Listen. He did say that, but they could have pushed the envelope. And when you push the envelope, I'm saying if you don't play, like what happened with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, it wasn't a mutual thing with the Nets. The Nets was like, oh, if you don't play, we're finding you. Texans, however, was like, cool, brother. We want to get away from this situation too.
Well,
and
the thing is,
we also know we're going to get a king's ransom for you. So you go chill. You can have your money. This is chump change compared to what we're going to get back in return. So it wasn't really a steal.
I don't believe the NFL has that plan in place, though.
What?
Of fining you for not playing.
No, listen. That's a team thing. That's in any sport. You can decide. I mean, it's an employee. Like, bro, if I work for McDonald's, we're just gonna use them as an example. McDonald's could send me home and still pay me if they wanted to.
Yeah,
that's up to them. But they could also send me home and be like, we ain't paying you shit. So it depends on the situation. He got a lovely situation. He got 10 mil to sit at home. Now he's getting 230 mil.
Tell me
you
wouldn't do that?
Now.
You telling me 10 million not to work?
I'd sit at home for 10,000 right now. Like
man, what you said?
Like
what
I'm
you
not
said.
discriminating against that number.
What you said, man.
I talked to him.
It's crazy, man. But where would you, when this news broke to you? We heard the number. We talked about when we heard the trade. We heard the number. What is your thoughts on the Cleveland Browns and where the state of their organization and franchise right now? Let's say, let's just put it.
They're in between 2 and 3. They're in between. I know what you're gonna ask me. They're in between 2 and 3 in the AFC North. They're in between 2 and 3 because it's hard for me when I look at the teams. And yes, I know Cincinnati Bengals went to the Super Bowl. But if you're asking me, T-Payne, you asking me, I'm gonna tell you the Ravens are the best team in that division when they're healthy. Because we saw what the Ravens did without damn near the whole team.
Everybody, yeah.
So the Ravens are the best team when they're healthy. I put the Bengals and the Browns next. Yes, I love Deshaun. Deshaun is cold, and I love how he plays the game. But it's just hard for me to say instantly until I see it. I can't give it to them yet. But trust me, he's definitely going to make noise, and he can instantly turn the Browns from 2 and 3 to 1 in the AFC North and to even 1 in the AFC.
Crazy. I mean, that is the biggest thing we're talking about.
You got superstars on both sides of the field, man. Myles Garrett, come on. That man's a monster.
So you have them around 2 or 3 in the AFC North, not in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. In the AFC North. In the AFC, they're gonna range from anywhere to 3 to 7. They're in that realm because we haven't seen it on paper yet. I mean, dude, right now, if you ask me today, who's your favorite, Tevin, in the AFC? It's the Raiders. It's the Raiders, man. Listen, I don't like the Raiders, dude. Did you see who these people got?
Did you get a chance to listen to us yesterday?
I didn't check it out yet. I was when I told you, I wasn't faking. I was legit sick.
You was on that Theraflu.
So I got to go over it. But
I made a really good take that I know you would love to argue about. We won't get into it too much. How I really do believe, and there's facts to prove it, and players to even prove it because he can't be stopped. That Davonte Adams is the best player in the NFL.
Best player or best receiver?
No, I'm telling you,
you said it
like
right.
That. I didn't fumble that. The best player in the NFL. He is now being paid like the best receiver in the NFL. And we argued about it last time. And the Green Bay Packers were ready to prove my point that he was a $30 million receiver.
Oh, yeah. Hey, yeah. Listen, I went back and looked at the numbers. I apologize. I seen the numbers. I want to say D-Hop's getting paid like $27 million a year. So once I seen that, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Davonte might get that. Davonte might get that train thing. He might get that train thing. I was like, ooh. I don't know.
An interesting point. Oops, my bad. An interesting point Adrian said was Davonte Adams, let me say it first, because you're going to look at me real crazy. Davonte Adams may have been held back by Aaron Rodgers. And this is the point. Cooper Kupp is a great receiver. He's not below average. He's
Potential Hall of Fame.
He's not just above average. He is a great receiver.
He's on his way to first ballot. He keep playing like this. He's on his way to first ballot.
But my thing about Cooper Kupp, he progressed from the year before to last year. We've seen those progressions, but if you look at him film wise, not on paper. If you look at him film wise, that progression was not substantial. It wasn't a big jump when you watch him on the film. Like,
yeah, because he's already. You got to go back and watch him when he was a rookie. Yeah, you got to go back and watch him.
He really has been doing it. His progression has just been like, okay, so you're getting better. So that's why I will name you as a great receiver now. But we have to give it to Matt Stafford. Now, Matt Stafford, he is a quarterback who, if he messes with you, you getting the ball. Like, I don't care if you triple team. I don't care if they untie your shoes. They can even untie your shoes and then tie them together. I am still throwing you this football.
And see, Cooper's blessed because he's got Robert Woods. He had what's the boy's name that had the baby? Not Odell.
I got you. Man. Van Jefferson.
Ben Jefferson. Sorry, Ben Jefferson. He's sorry, I went blank.
No, it's okay to go blank because guess what he's going to do this year?
Yeah, Odell.
Oh, he might even be. He might even.
Well, they're bringing in Allen, so it's Allen, Robert Woods, and Cooper. They have a brother bond, so I highly doubt Robert's going anywhere. Robert's going to be back. So
there are people reaching out for trades.
Yeah, with Allen and Cooper, they got a good core. Odell, it's not like Odell's top liver, but I just think Odell. Man, I just want to see. Look, man, Odell's he a NOLA boy. You know, I love the NOLA. Shout out to the NOLA, man. I've been there twice. One of the best places on earth. I'm going back soon. I got to make that happen. But I just want to see it, man. I'm upset. I'm upset Deshaun didn't go to the NOLA because I really wanted to go to some games where Deshaun was playing at the NOLA. But I got nothing but love for my boy James Jabo. You know, they're gonna be fine. James gonna get healthy.
Yeah, I believe Jameis. If he could even still get Jarvis Landry and get
Jarvis and Odell, man. Imagine Jarvis, Odell, Mike Thomas. Come on.
But you still got Harris,
Callaway,
Marquez Callaway. And those are good. And then you gotta give at least 5 catches to Alvin Kamara if he comes back. I think you good, man. But
I'm listening. You keep going.
I think actually Jameis Winston is the only quarterback who could manage that many receivers because that is what he has been doing his entire career, is throwing it to multiple options. But what you said about the Raiders being the team at the top of the AFC to contend, Matthew Stafford really helped Cooper Kupp. I believe Derek Carr is more beneficial. I'm sorry, Davonte Adams is more beneficial having Derek Carr because Derek Carr is not afraid to throw it to one receiver the entire time. Aaron Rodgers' ego will not let him throw it to just one receiver. He's a Tom Brady era type quarterback to where Tom Brady is going to win the game and don't ask me to throw you the ball. Even though Davonte Adams did get him.
I'm gonna say this, brother. I slightly disagree with you. I think they both got their favorite targets. I think it's just because they're so good. They're so great. They're iconic at their position. They can just spread it more. And sometimes you feel like you got to force it to a receiver because you know he's the best thing on your team. But you also got to remember, like, some defenses start to key in on that. You don't want to get too reliant on your main target.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
There's times this is a make play league. There's no argument with that. This is a make play league. There's always
we all know. No, well, not we all know. I know why you fighting so hard for Davonte. You hate just about every other receiver on that Green Bay team. So that's part of
No,
what it
it's
is.
not. It's not. It really ain't even that. It really ain't even that. I love Randall Cobb.
Yeah, well,
Randall
come on.
Cobb. You know, I even loved him when he played at UK in college because he was just like that was crazy, and that was really the first Lamar Jackson.
You know, he's at the end of his career.
He was like the first Lamar Jackson I really ever seen like that, other than
he was doing everything.
You know, like I really thought he was about to be the next Michael Vick, and then they switched him. But I have to say, like, damn, you made me lose my thought. No, okay, I got it. I didn't got it back again.
Go ahead.
All right, so my big thing about it was that Aaron Rodgers, you know, and Tom Brady, they have this certain innate ability to extend the play and make sure that they're putting their team in the best position. A lot of quarterbacks don't think about what they think about, and that's the future. They are okay with taking throwing the ball out of bounds on a third down or spiking the ball on a third down and punting and going through for the next series. But when the game is on the line, Tom Brady knows who he's going through. Like you said, the defense knows who they're going to. It's a make play league. But Tom Brady knows I trust Gronk over the best defender on Gronk.
But see, now I don't think that's the case.
Aaron Rodgers knows that too. Now. It's like I'm throwing it to Davonte Adams, and you're not going to stop him. But when you have somebody like, that's what makes a great quarterback great. Dak Prescott, when it started getting down to the end of the season, he knew, CD, I got to throw you the ball. I'm going to force you the ball.
No, he wasn't catching it all the time.
I'm going to do it. That's the thing, though. It's like
one thing I'm upset about with losing.
When you have your one receiver, when the quarterback has their one receiver that they like, it's a make or break throw. Like it's a 50-50 ball, maybe even be a 70-30 ball their way. And I'm still going to throw it to this guy because this is who I trust. And to make this play, Derek Carr knows this. So he's already throwing the ball 12 times to Davonte Adams. And now we're in a close game. I got a Cooper Kupp the boy. I'm throwing it. All three of these plays are going to Davonte Adams. You're going to have to grab his jersey. You're going to have to take his pants off. You're going to have to untie his shoes. You're going to have to grab his helmet off his head. Like it's going, you have to grab the dreads. Like it's going to him. And
I'm just saying with Aaron, you know, I understand you want him to get it more to his primary because, you know, they didn't have a lot. With Brady, you know, it's not even just Gronk anymore. I mean, Brady has the upper echelon. You know, he's got Mike Evans. Yeah. Shout out to Mike Evans. I love Mike Evans. I got to say that every time I get a chance because Mike Evans, he easily, you could say he's top 5, top 3 the way he plays the position and his numbers.
I'm biased, though.
He's the only receiver ever to have 8 straight 1,000-yard season. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, Mike Evans is that man.
And I think at least
he never complains. He never complains.
Hey,
and he has Godwin with him, and he has Gronk with him.
Just a quick disclaimer before you go on. I met Mike Evans, and he really is like that in real life.
Yeah.
He's really like...
I've seen his interviews. He gives me that energy. I've never met him, but
I met him, and he is really a great guy. Like I'm telling you, he's a great guy. Go ahead.
I believe him. But I think Davonte Adams, as long as he don't get that prima donna mindset, he's gonna force. He's gonna force with Oakland. It's him. It's Darren Waller.
Oh God.
It's Brian Edwards. It's Hunter Renfrow.
Golly.
Listen, the one thing they've been missing on that team is a number one. They had it, but you know, AB went AB. So when AB goes AB, you can't do nothing about it. They had it with AB, but I don't know what that man was on. 36. Yeah. We ain't even gonna talk about that because I ain't leaving that much money.
I agree with you that the Raiders are Super Bowl contenders. Because
hold on, let me add this one too, because we didn't even say this. Chandler motherfucking Jones.
Yeah.
The big bro.
That's nasty.
To John Bone Jones. The meanest motherfucker ever in the UFC. That's crazy. They basically was like, yeah, you know, my big brother's punk beat. The meanest motherfucker in the UFC got punked by his big brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And one of his big brothers is arguably
that's like a 15-year ago story, Tevin. I can't believe you still brought that up, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Like we grew up hearing that story. You remember that? I think it might have been ESPN or Sports Illustrated cover where all three of them were on there and they talked about that. Yeah, that's a great story, by the way. We should like
John Bones Jones is he's the best fight. I mean, I don't know about fighter. I don't know about fighter. That's tough. There's some great fighters, but when it comes to UFC,
probably the greatest of all time.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Only person
he needs to get the off the exactly.
Yeah,
what you said.
The only person
out of the octagon, get it together, brother. Because that's the only thing that's stopping you.
He was the best thing we ever seen in our lives. Like you watch,
and I thought Anderson was.
I've never watched anything on TV and been scared of a man. like I look at you, and I'm like, yo, dude.
I ain't gonna say I'm afraid of the man, but I also ain't gonna challenge him either.
You ever watch a UFC fight? You yell at the TV, chill, man. He didn't.
Usually I'm like, beat that motherfucker, because I'm rooting for him, but I definitely ain't gonna challenge him.
To go back to your point, though.
Yes, sir.
You want to give? I believe what you said wholeheartedly. But my thing is, last year proved that the NFL is a toss up. It is that Super Bowl. We have not seen this since Tom Brady came in the league.
We've been saying Rams for years, though.
The NFL now is a complete toss up. You can't sit here and tell me, yo, the Super Bowl favorites, I believe right now, are Tampa Bay and Kansas City. They do that. It's probably even been the last 3 years it's been like that.
And that's mostly based off quarterback play.
They are not like, even though that they're the top teams that make it to the Super Bowl.
It's just based on quarterback play. It's just based on quarterback play, because when people boil it down, the best quarterback, you just think people get that embedded in their head. They see the best performance of Tom Brady, the best performance of Patrick Mahomes. And when it comes to all of those quarterbacks on these contenders, because don't get me wrong, I love Derek Carr. Derek Carr does not have performances like a Patrick Mahomes and a Tom Brady. So until he gets that, consistently, not just one time. Because even with Matt Stafford, shout out to Stafford, great season, phenomenal season. You got over the hump. But that's, to me, and we'll go on this in another segment. We'll go on this on another segment. That doesn't make you a Hall of Fame. That's one season. You got to give me 5 more years of some all-pro type seasons, and then we can talk Hall of Fame. Sherman spoke on that. Richard Sherman spoke on that, and I agree. Because we're setting the bar too low, man. Like, you can't just be a Hall of Famer because you won a Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's not enough.
I think the bar hasn't been set too low. I think there's just so many outside factors now that is contributing to that bar being the way it is.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford,
I agree with that.
If you look at Matthew Stafford's numbers, he's a Hall of Famer. You take the face off Matthew Stafford and now you got that Super Bowl on him, he's a Hall of Famer. No matter however you want to put it.
But is he though? Is he with the numbers?
It's
how many times has he led the league?
The thing is, though, the stats are so fluctuated because of the new style of the league, which I would like to say he is one of the orchestrators of this new style of the league on how much we throw the ball, how much we how much time the offense has. How much time the offense has, because he's been doing this his entire career.
Yeah.
And you might not be a fan of a Matthew Stafford quarterback, but that is all you need in the NFL now. You need a player that is, when it comes down to it, they are not scared to make that risky throw, which goes back into the Derek Carr and the Davonte
But
Adams
hold on,
scenario.
let me stop you real quick, my brother. This is why it don't let the numbers fool you. I'm looking at the stats right now. Matthew Stafford, the only thing he's ever led the league in is completions in 2012, attempts in 2011, and interceptions in 2021. Also fumbles made in 2013.
But for one, hold on.
Fumbles lost in 2016. So he's never led the league.
No,
and
but
passed.
you have to. I'm talking about check the credit of his career numbers while you're on there.
He's got good numbers. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's about to hit.
But that's what I'm saying though.
Past.
See, what you're saying is when you go through somebody's career, you're not gonna sit here and look at it as, oh, but you remember in 2016 he led the league in fumbles.
But see, I'm not even
in 2015 he led the league in interceptions. We can't make him a Hall of Famer. Like,
let me ask you a question. How many times do you think Matt Stafford has been on an All-Pro team? Not even just the first, but
no, he's not gonna be.
No, I'm asking you a question.
Though. You're not listening.
How many times?
You're looking at it, like, listen, bro. I'm not arguing about his
season.
I'm not arguing about his season records, his season performances. I'm arguing as the career as a whole is so fluctuated. That's what I'm saying. I agree with you, but I'm saying it's so fluctuated. Because you can look at his career.
What is your standard for?
You can look at his career. You look at his career yardage, his career completions, and then you look at his career touchdowns, and then you see that Super Bowl. Those numbers that people are going to look at and highlight once you retire. They're always going to highlight that once you retire, and your record, of course, and it compares to Super Bowl.
Is he better than Phillip Rivers?
Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Is he better than Phillip Rivers?
Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer.
All right, exactly. And you see how you said that with a Swift. That's all I'm saying, bro. He's got a lot to go. He's not there yet.
He's not, got a lot to go. But we're not arguing that Matt Stafford is retiring tomorrow because the way we're looking at it, Matt Stafford has a good 4 or 5 years left.
We're arguing. Basically, the point. Maybe we're not even arguing this, but the point I was making.
Saying the same thing.
Was people came out this year after the Super Bowl. He's a Hall of Fame. No, he's not.
No,
not yet.
I didn't. Yeah, we didn't. We're not saying that.
He's not there yet.
Said what you said. He's not a Hall of Famer, and I said he's not a Hall of Famer. But I said when you look at his numbers and his numbers, it's not going to reflect the body of work. That's what I'm saying. When you look at his numbers, when at the end of his career, we're going to look at his numbers, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer because of that.
But I think sometimes even the numbers, they might not reflect his body of work, but is that necessarily a good thing or a bad thing? Because up until now, he never won a playoff game either. And he had some good teams. Now, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt against my Cowboys that there was some shiesty stuff that went on in that game. You could argue they should have won that game.
It's a bad thing because people like Chad Johnson ain't a Hall of Famer. That's why. That's why it's a bad thing. But to go on with my case.
Go ahead.
About dang, Tevin, we done been on a big tangent. Because we was just talking about Deshaun Watson and the Browns and are they contenders? And I want to argue with that point that they are if he's playing and depending on if he, I want to say if he, I want to go ahead and put in that scenario and say he's not suspended. Like if the league was today, he's not suspended. And the team that they have today, the Browns, easily Super Bowl.
That's that. I forgot. You know, the other day we was arguing off camera. You tried to make a big deal. But honestly, like wholeheartedly, innocently, I was looking at their roster. They haven't added Amari Cooper on the ESPN roster yet. So I forgot Amari went there. And it's not that Amari is just forgettable, like he ain't done nothing. Shout out to Amari Cooper, man. Loved Amari Cooper as a Cowboy. One of the better receivers we've had in Cowboy history. I just think, athletic ability, I wouldn't say it's top notch. It's not bad, but it's not top notch. And, production level went down with the off the field issues as far as him not being vaccinated, which is not an issue. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not. But, if you're not vaccinated, there's protocols. Wear your mask. It's easy. Wear your mask or don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere you're going to be seen. And remember that you're a celebrity. Right? Yeah, remember you're a celebrity. You're going to get seen.
You responsible.
So if you're going to go somewhere, what's the old boy Andrew Codford? Wear your mask.
And you're speaking from a standpoint of somebody who makes 5 to 6 figures. They make 7 to 8 figures, and you're not going to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, if I made that much money, man, I'm in a bubble. I can't afford to get whatever you got out there. But you said this is my point. You put the Raiders all the way up there, and that's respectable. And I can put the Browns all the way up there for the case of the argument. But my full stance is the league is so toss up right now just because of the fact that nobody's mentioning this in all the sports shows that I watch. There are so many top defenses that people do not understand and overlook. And the reason I say there's so many, that, like I said, it's a make-play league. So you're going to watch a defense that could be the number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1, and they still give up the same plays as a number 15, number 20 defense in the league. And my point about that is there's always going to be plays being made. And there's so many good defenses in the league and offenses that are so fast-paced, and there's always going to be people who are going to make a lot of plays. And that's why the league is so toss-up. And you probably have, they might need to do a play-in tournament again, like the NBA. They already kind of got it, but
you can't have a play-in tournament and everything.
It's hard, bro. It's just
we already got. Listen, it's football.
This year,
you played football. That ain't easy, man. That ain't easy on the body.
What is there?
17 games.
There's 16 teams.
17 games.
No, there's 16 teams.
14 teams in the playoffs. 14 teams in the playoffs.
There's 16 teams in each
16
conference,
teams in each conference. 14 teams in the playoffs.
And then so 7 teams that make it in each conference. Dog, that's crazy. Because there's like 12.
It's good for you as a fan.
There's like 12 AFC. There's like 12 AFC teams that are complete toss-ups.
I feel you, and as a fan, you're loving it. But you also got to remember, you ain't getting hit by people like Ray Lewis.
No.
Feels like.
I completely understand, and I'm always for the players. I don't want to add more games. I'm just saying, if you got 17 games on the regular season, you might want to look into, like, there's a possibility, like, you might know
who got left out this year. Who got left out of the playoffs that you were like, oh my gosh, everybody made it that was supposed to.
Yeah, everybody made it that they were supposed to. But like that's why like the 17th week it felt so good, because you're watching the Chargers trying to fight their ass off to get in.
Yeah.
You watch.
So we don't need to play in tournament. You basically trying to turn it into a 17th.
Basically, a 17th game is like a play-in tournament. But exactly. I also think the league needs to structure themselves just a tad bit better, to where like that last 17th game, everybody is playing somebody in their division.
They were pretty much.
It was, but not all the way.
Who was it?
Bengals and the Chiefs.
That was week 17. Are you sure?
Yeah. That was week 17, and that changed everything, because that was when the Titans was like, cool,
no. See, you're making week 17 the last week. The last week is week 18.
Okay, hold on, wait.
The last week is week 18, because you got to account for a bye. Everybody has one bye. So in between 17 games, you're going to have one bye, so that's why there's an 18th week. So the 18th week, pretty much everybody played somebody in their division. Raiders, Chargers, Panthers, Buccaneers, Cardinals, Seahawks, Dolphins, Patriots, Rams, 49ers, Bills, Jets, Saints, Falcons, Texans, Titans.
Yeah. Week 7.
Yeah, everybody played. Everybody played their division or a division rival. So they set it up that way. It was just that week 17 was so phenomenal.
Yeah,
because so much happened. The week 18 was where a lot of people solidify. I mean, that's where the Colts. Shout out to Drizzy. Yeah, that's where and we ain't talking about Drake. We talking about Adrian. Yeah, but shout out to Drizzy. That's when the Colts blew it.
Week 18, yeah, did it. So yeah, I got my weeks messed up, and that was all good. I got my weeks messed up, and like I was really living in the 17th week, and I had all the games. That week 17. That's crazy how my mind works. Like I was living in all the 17-week games, and I was in there.
Let's see, week 17, you had Chiefs, Bengals.
I completely forgot about the 18th week, and how could I forget when my Titans had to win that game to capture the number 1 seed?
Oh yeah, that was the Rams Ravens that week. You had Eagles, Washington.
That's crazy. So it is kind of like a playing tournament. But my point is that it is going to be an exciting year of football, just from the fact that we have at least 12 potential teams that can fight in any position for the top seed, the 1 through 7. You can name me your prediction for the 1 through 7, and it probably won't come out correct because of how everything kind of plays out. So
are you asking me the name right now?
No. It's kind of going to my long-winded point of that.
Because I'll give you 3. I'll give you 3 in both sides if you want it real quick now.
It's my long-winded point of saying if the season was to start today and Deshaun Watson was on the Browns and no suspension, I could definitely 65% believe he could be in the Super Bowl. Just because
I'm gonna tell you my 3. Just because I know it's
in AFC.
In both. I'm gonna tell you my 3 right now. I know it's itching you a little bit. You acting like you don't want to know. I know it's itching you.
I don't, because you're not gonna mention the Titans, so I don't really care.
I'm not. Buffalo, Kansas City, Vegas. That's my favorite. On the West.
You tweaking.
I said the West like this is football. I mean basketball. In the NFC, I'm gonna say Tampa. I'm going to say.
You're thinking way too hard, bro.
Yeah, I mean it's a lot. I'm gonna say the Rams, and then the third. This is my third. I'd say the Cowboys, and not because they're my team. I promise y'all, not because of my team. Just going based off what they had. But you know, the Cowboys. They love to disappoint me. So
my goodness.
I'm sure they won't get the Super Bowl. But listen, I'm sure they won't get it. Me. But I'm just telling you, look at the NFC based on what is at those teams right now.
Oh, listen. No, I'm not giving the Cowboys any damn shine right now.
That's because you're personal.
It's not personal. You're personal. You started. Nobody was even talking about the NFC. You brought the NFC up. You are bringing the Cowboys.
Are you asking me who's my number 1 favorite?
You asked yourself that just to bring up the Cowboys.
I mean, Tampa is my number 1. Where you're at is my number 1.
You brought this up to mention your Cowboys. This is what Cowboys.
I took a shot at my own team. You
are notoriously.
You stepped over that because you in your feelings about me not talking about the Titans.
You notoriously find any way.
It's not personal, brother. It's not personal, brother. I'm telling you, based off rosters, the Cowboys should be a contender. Will they be a contender? Will they be?
Blase, blah.
Look, man. See, this is what happens when you're a Titans fan and you're used to mediocrity. That's not my fault. I'm sorry that you guys have to depend on riding on the back of King Henry. Y'all gonna kill that man riding his back so hard because that's the only chance I got. But it's not
every
personal.
Team rides on somebody's back.
Yes, but y'all didn't make no big moves. That's not my fault. Did I think Vegas was going to
make big moves?
Listen, did I think Vegas was going to be a contender before free agency? Hell no.
You're crazy to not think they're not going to be a contender. They were in the playoffs, and it was a tight game.
Listen, when I'm talking about, okay, let me be specific. Did I think Vegas would be a top 3 contender?
Okay, there you go. Thank you.
No, hell no.
Thank you.
But then they went and got Davonte and Chandler. Oh, they top 3. That's different.
Because you
Cowboys
mentioned
Cowboys is only in the bottom. They're the number 3 because you look at their roster, dude. They have all the pieces. They have no excuses. If they don't succeed,
you keep mentioning the Cowboys. I'm ready to blow up your shit every time you mention them.
But see, you're being personal. You're not looking at logistics.
Man, I'm being personal because nobody brought up the top 3 on each side.
I said top 3 on each side.
No, you took this and found any way to how can I shift?
Oh my Lord, Jesus! I even took my time looking at 3 because I really didn't know. I didn't want to mention those.
I've heard.
If you look at the NFC, is Green Bay in top 3 without Davonte Adams?
To get to the Super Bowl?
Yes, without Davonte Adams.
I mean, no.
Come on, man. Exactly. You know that.
I honestly have to give
it. You know that is.
If I was to pick my top 3, it would definitely be you gotta go Rams. You gotta go Tampa Bay.
I said Tampa.
And then I probably would still go Arizona Cardinals. I mean, that Chandler Jones loss and Hassan.
You don't believe that. You're only saying that because you don't like the Cowboys. Let's look at their team. They can't even make their quarterback happy right now. That's a big issue. They have beef with their quarterback, which is why, bro? Y'all weren't even relevant without Kyler Murray. I'm not trying to listen. Scouts on it. Heart, finger to God. I am not trying to make this about the Cowboys. I'm only looking at rosters, dude, and I'm looking at also chemistry.
You gave them 5 minutes.
There's a lot of bullshiggity going on at the Cardinals right now. Plus, they just lost.
We literally were only talking about the Browns and how was.
I don't have the Browns as a top 3 though.
We were talking about the Browns and how are they going to contend? And you went and decided to take this argument to say, you know what, we got to get into this NFC somehow.
Dude, listen, out of all the 6 I named, the Cowboys.
You said Amari Cooper. I got no disrespect to him being a Cowboy.
You need to listen to this. Out of all the teams, bro, the Cowboys are 6. Okay. And they're bottom 6.
But I want to go ahead and say this though. I don't want to talk about the NFC right now, just because the free agency is not over with, and I do feel like the NFC really needs to make some more big splashes.
Why?
And I think
the NFC just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't care about that.
Yeah, because you see diamonds and you be like, ooh, shiny.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
Exactly. Because
what cartoon was that?
It's because I'm talking about how mediocre so many teams are in the NFC, and I don't want to get to them right now. I know this is going to be a really good segment in another podcast, but the AFC is the most important part right now, just because you have the AFC West and then you also have the AFC North. Both divisions are fully loaded. AFC North, arguably had probably one of the best defensive performances in the entire division as a whole. Now you have...
How's the AFC better than the NFC though, brother? They both have the same amount of double-digit teams. So what makes one better than the other? especially when the AFC didn't win the Super Bowl.
I'm just talking about, you know, the pedigree and the level of competition now that we have in the AFC. Like you have two divisions right now that are really so neck to neck and who could really finish out as the top dog. Like it's not a given. It's not, and that's why it goes back to my point of how toss up the NFL is. It's that you have the AFC North that is a complete toss up division, even though Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback in that division. And then you have to give it to Joe Burrow for what he did, and then Lamar Jackson, and then
is he the best? Is he the best in that division though?
I mean, this is me taking the bias out of it. Deshaun Watson has the highest QBR rating, the second highest QBR rating ever since they've been recording QBRs.
How many Super Bowl?
He holds the
How
high.
many MVPs does he have?
See, and that's like the NBA MVP though. It's like it is because Aaron Rodgers did great, but Tom Brady, in my opinion, did better for what he had going on. And then you have Cooper Kupp is the real MVP.
Okay, but we're talking. Listen, you're using
Deshaun Watson.
Subject.
The year.
Lamar Jackson has an MVP, and it's shocking because you always talking about bias. You're not even representing for your squad right now.
Because I said I'm not. I said non-biased. But listen, I said a non-biased position, and this is why I had to say it like
this.
That's
fine. MVP, All Pro, 2 Pro Bowls.
No, Lamar Jackson
led the league in passing touchdowns.
Lamar Jackson. Listen, Lamar Jackson. The year he had last year before injury, he had so many ups and downs that affected the Ravens as a whole. It didn't. Like even when he was playing for the Ravens, they didn't have the right level to get over that hump to take over in the AFC last year, and that played a big part. That was a lot on him, even with
how many league. Sorry, I'm tongue twisted.
I'm talking
how
about
many league leading wide receivers has Lamar had?
None.
How many has Deshaun had?
He had DeAndre Hopkins.
Exactly. Stop right there. I'm stop you in tracks. Deshaun Hopkins. DeAndre. I can't talk. DeAndre Hopkins, arguably number 1 receiver in the league. That's the argument. When we talking Davonte, the next one up is DeAndre. So come on, bro. Like I'm just saying, like you're giving a lot of credit.
I hear your point before you go.
Jumping. Listen, bro. Like it's like a brand new song that just came out, and you like, man, that's the greatest song of all time. Like, calm your brakes, brother. You ain't even seen it on wax yet.
What? What are you talking about?
Down.
What are you talking about? I watched Deshaun Watson twice a year with my Titans, and I've always got to keep an eye on him because he wrecks our team. I've always watched this guy. I've seen this guy play in person, and this is my big thing about Deshaun Watson. He had his best year without DeAndre Hopkins when he has to spread the ball around. That was his best year, and he had
what year was that?
His worst record.
What year was that?
In 2020. That was his worst record. His worst record with the team.
You consider that his best year?
You look at his statistics, man, that dude really was looking like an MVP candidate.
I don't know. We're gonna have to get the boys on here and have a full full segment about that. You're sleeping.
No,
and it's crazy. Hey, Louisville fans that will watch this. Louisville fans that watch this. This your guy up here. This your Louisville boy up here. And he's talking bad on Lamar.
I am not over
Deshaun.
No, you twisting things because I've never said anything bad about Lamar Jackson except for the up and down season that they had last year with those injuries. It did affect him, but at the same time, you are the leader of the team and you are the quarterback. And majority of your decisions that you made in those games led to that record. And I'm not saying nothing bad. That's a hell of a class to be in. Let's be real. That is a hell of a class to be in right now. Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. And we're not, that's the whole point of my argument that you trying to make it sound like I said Lamar Jackson is the second
brother,
quarterback.
I'm going to hit you with this real quick. 37-12, 28-25. Which one's better between those two?
Of course it was Lamar Jackson's record.
Oh, okay. You said it. All right, bet.
Bro, you acting like I don't watch Lamar Jackson games, bro. Lamar Jackson is great. He is great. I am talking about the level of quarterback play that can contribute to a team. Like Deshaun Watson didn't get the luxuries that Lamar Jackson was given. Lamar Jackson was able to—
What luxuries?
Lamar Jackson was able to come in on a team that was playoff ready. Deshaun Watson.
Pause. We just talked about weapons. My man had DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller at the future set at the same damn time.
Where is Will Fuller at? Stop talking about— don't mention Will Fuller, please.
Listen, you being a fantasy— Look, don't let your fantasy bias get into this.
Fantasy bias? Okay. You just mentioned a non-factor receiver right now.
Wow, non-factor. All right. Brother.
You can't mention DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller in the same sentence.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is this is a great debate because touchdown interception ratio, it's in favor of Deshaun. Passing yards is in favor of Deshaun, but winning wise, it's in favor of Lamar. And you can't really say, oh well, Lamar had a better— no. Deshaun came into a playoff ready team too. It's not our fault that they couldn't get the defense to get on pace. They had a legend on their defense. They had JJ Watt.
But that's what I'm saying is the fact.
But I'll tell you the difference. You had a better coach. You had a better coach in John Harbaugh on the Ravens.
But it's the fact.
But again, who controls that? That's the Texans' fault.
But that's where you are.
Okay, so he's
that's where you're skewing my arguments because it was, and that's why I'm saying I said situations. The situation.
And guess what?
Lamar
is still in a better situation. So why would you even think?
Lamar Jackson is in a better situation.
But it doesn't do better.
Him the better
what's going to make Deshaun Watson do better than Lamar at the Browns compared to the Texans? Because when you're looking at the two careers, Lamar has a better career right now. True or false?
Listen, I didn't
True or
say
false?
I didn't say Lamar hasn't had the better career. I'm a huge Lamar Jackson fan.
You ain't showing it right now, but go ahead.
I have definitely shown it for one, because I'm not gonna badmouth Lamar Jackson on my podcast. You crazy. Like,
right.
Like I don't expect
this boy in Florida too. You're in Florida too. You can't be, come on, man.
Listen,
you gotta show up in Florida.
Listen, man. There is no ill will with Lamar Jackson. If I had to pick which quarterback I would choose, I'm picking Lamar Jackson, and that is with complete bias, because I would love to have Lamar Jackson on anybody's team. I would put Lamar Jackson on the Browns, and I would still say he's going to do better. But when I'm talking about as a whole and quarterbacks and how their situations has played out, that is why Deshaun Watson has the luxuries he had in Texans to play quarterback the way he had to play quarterback.
That didn't come until after. Lamar was never the long-term play. That's why they drafted this man at like 30. So again, Deshaun Watson was put on a higher pedestal to succeed, not Lamar. Lamar has just gone out every day. And I hated that he played for y'all weak asses. And yes, I'm talking about the Louisville Cardinals. Because I can't stand the Louisville Cardinals. Everybody from my city, I'm from Louisville. Louisville till I die. I love Louisville. But the Cardinals, the athletic program, that's a whole different thing. I love the school too. University of Louisville, shout out to them. But yeah, I can't mess with y'all athletics. I hated that he played for y'all because it's like, as much as I don't want to like him, I can't help it. I love Lamar Jackson. All this man does is win and prove people wrong. They said he should have been a running back. Those people, they was on some good ganja because obviously they didn't know nothing about Lamar. And he's gone and proved everybody wrong. So again, to end our story, not end our story, but to end our segment, whether we agree or not, from top to bottom, it's Lamar Jackson, then it's Deshaun, then it's Joe Burrow, then it's obviously Mitch. And shout out to Mitch too, because Mitch is getting a lot of hate, but I think Mitch is gonna.
I will. This never happens because I'm supposed to spray you right now. I'm supposed to pull up on your block, bro, and air it out.
I feel it,
but I'll concede defeat.
Hey, I ain't even trying to win, brother. I just want to make sure we're giving our audience the right information.
I respect that argument and I respect that point. And I haven't really disagreed too much about your Lamar Jackson point because everything you say about him is spot on about Lamar Jackson.
I mean, Lamar fire, bro.
And I do agree that, you know, at the end of the day, Lamar Jackson will be the better quarterback at the end of the day. At the end of the year, not the year, but like at the end of the year.
Real quick insert. It wasn't a Miami coach. It was a San Francisco coach, Greg Roman. He was with Kaepernick from 11 to 14. Was it Kaepernick? Yeah, he was with Kaepernick. Yeah, Kaepernick was there. So he was with Kaepernick, went to the Buffalo Bills from 15 to 16. Then he came to the Ravens. So that Greg Roman is the one who works for more mobile quarterback. And the only reason they went and got him, obviously, because at that point, Lamar had said, hey, this is my team here. So y'all need to figure it out. And that's what they did. But prior, they wasn't messing with Lamar. They wasn't messing with Lamar, bro.
He was the offensive assistant in 2017. Then he was in 2018 the assistant head coach. And then in 2019, he was the offensive coordinator.
The Ravens will sit up here and tell you we always knew it was Lamar. They went on potential. They liked Lamar more than a lot of people, especially at that price. But if they would have known Lamar would be what he was today, he wouldn't have fell to third. They would have went. They would have traded all the way up.
Every team thought Lamar Jackson was a second-round quarterback, which they deserved to get.
They thought he was a second-round running back. They didn't even think he was a quarterback. Them men was disrespectful. And shout out Lamar L. Jackson.
No, I support that. I support that, and I respect that. I think Deshaun Watson is gonna go ahead. And you know what? I'm glad you brought me back down to earth because. You know, I did a take that I hear on a lot of sports shows. Because Deshaun Watson, when you think of Deshaun Watson, he is a traditional looking quarterback when he plays. And
who's mobile? You know, he's a traditional mobile quarterback.
But
he's got mobile ability, but
you got Lamar Jackson. He might not be the traditional quarterback that you're used to seeing, but it's just like I hate how they bash him and try not to say he is a top quarterback in the league just because of the things that he does. So I'll go ahead and retract my statement and say that Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in that division.
Hey.
And you have to give the second best quarterback would be Deshaun Watson. And then you have to, of course, give it by default to Joe Burrow.
He's on the way. Joe Burrow's
everybody knows whatever the Steelers say who their quarterback is always false because they never know who their quarterback is.
Mitchell's going to be the quarterback. I got faith in Mitch. I think he'll change it around.
I don't have faith that he's going to win them as much games as the Ravens or the Bengals or the Texans.
That defense, listen, and biased guy right here. I'm a
what
Cowboy.
I do want to say is I definitely do pick AFC West over the AFC North. I can't believe The Chargers have J.C. Jackson.
Yeah.
Freaking Derwin James.
I agree.
I think a lot of people aren't hearing the Chargers team right now. They re-signed Michael Williams. I'm like, you definitely should have did Mike Williams. Let me not respect that man.
We don't even got to go too deep into it, bro. You got 4 top-notch quarterbacks. You got Herbert, Wilson, Carr, and Patty Mahomes. We all know about Patrick. So when you look at when we say versus, I'm gonna give a slight edge to the AFC West right now because
why is Khalil Mack why is Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack on the same team? This is not fair.
Because Chicago sucks and they didn't care about how this was going to affect the NFL.
They did not even think of if Khalil Mack going somewhere, he's getting out of this division. He's getting out of this conference.
Yeah, out of conference, out of division. Yeah. Man, we don't even gotta go too deep in it. It's AFC West for now. It's AFC West for now, but it's this much for me because that North, bro, what they may lack in quarterback, they make up for either in defense.
It's
or superstar.
It's like you really before yesterday. You thought, was it yesterday or the day before? Before 2 days ago, you thought.
2 days ago.
Before 2 days ago, you really thought dang, Derek Carr, you got a very big hill to climb. And then it's like, oh, let me give him Davonte Adams and make everything a little easier for him.
Personally, I always thought Carr was there.
Yeah,
I mean, Carr was there the year with Amari Cooper, and then everybody got hurt. It took, those injuries were severe. It took some time to get past that. They get rid of Khalil Mack. It was just I didn't
like the Zay Jones gonna go get money somewhere else though, because I really thought that was like Carr's third.
Zay Jones.
I thought that was really his third best option that he needed, and that was helping him. But if you look at it from hindsight, dang, Davonte Adams. Man,
plus, you also got to remember Zay got to show out and shine more when Darren Waller was hurt.
Yeah,
Darren Waller's not hurt. We don't know what Zay does.
Yeah, but the entire receiving corps showed out.
Yeah, but now
Hunter Renfrow was the number 1 receiver last year.
Hunter Renfrow is going to get to go crazy with Davonte Adams drawing attention.
I predict his career just gotten 1,000% better.
You can't double anybody on this team there. Because if you double Waller, Davonte, if you double Davonte, Waller, Renfrow, if you try to double both the 2 top targets, Renfrow. So yeah, man, it's simple math. But
I hate it for Hunter Renfrow because they're gonna completely compare him to Cooper Kupp every chance they get.
Well, that's fine. He gonna eat. He gonna eat and get paid.
He is. I'm very proud of that. A couple more guests.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have our moderator tomorrow because me and JB can go at it. So
yeah,
we need that moderator.
Right? We gotta definitely have a moderator.
Audience, if y'all watch this whole podcast, shout out to y'all, man. We appreciate y'all.
Exactly. Definitely. Thank you for showing the love. This is Friends Turns Foes. Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow.